Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime 3. First of all, I wasn't able to post anything last night. I was able to post a video over in Anime King. I had created that video earlier on and it took at least 3 hours to go through. YouTube Studio was giving me a lot of problems, but now everything seems to be back to normal. So yeah guys, today I'm going to be giving you part 21 of What If Naruto was Betrayed by Hagoromo. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way that I'm going to be posting over in Anime King and Anime King 2 guys, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode, start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Mito was still working on trying to perform the Rasengan, but it doesn't matter what she did, it was just not forming and stabilizing. Sasuke then gave her an idea, as she created a clone to help her. We didn't at the time skip as Jiraiya realized it was a bad idea to get Naruto and Sandy together. Yes, a really bad idea. Sandy had gotten Naruto drunk, and she drank herself into a stupor as well. And the both of them seemed to have mixed personality, and they went crazy, nearly destroying the entire town. As a debt collector also came for Snaddy, and Naruto ended up breaking the man's bones, as he saw himself as a shining knight to protect her. It was all chaos, and Jiraiya couldn't stop them because when he tried, Naruto and Snaddy attacked him, forced him to move back. For the rest of the time, that is how it went, with Mito working on the Rasengan, until the final day appeared. As Snaddy went out, she made up her mind as she went after Orochimaru, as she was defeated because of her hemophobia. As Naruto and the group came there, as Naruto had flushed the toxin from Jiraiya's system. So with that, the battle started, as Naruto really didn't see him wasting his time fighting Kabuto. As Sasuke and Mito went to handle it, Kabuto was surprised how strong they have gotten, but they still weren't a match for him. As they clashed, Orochimaru wanted to prove a point as he went after Mito and Snaddy. His Kusanagi blade extended. Mito didn't have time to turn as the blade ran right through her. As Naruto snapped, Orochimaru quickly leaped away. As Naruto came over and knocked away Snaddy and removed the toxin from Mito's system, literally pulling it out of her body, and his silver chakra healed her wound within seconds. As Naruto's mind was foggy, as he found himself in his mindscape, where he met Naruto Osusuke. As Naruto Osusuke has been waiting so long for this, seeing that Osusuke Naruto has been pouring out his power and Naruto Uzumaki has been pulling down the power, it expanded and blew the seal to pieces. As the two brothers that has been watching over everything, Hagoromo and Hamura, sensed it as they looked in their palm. They too had the same seal, which, where they were, they used it to watch over and made sure everything was still in harmony. They knew when Naruto first awakened, but they thought everything was low-key, seeing that the seal was still on him. But now it was bad. Really bad. The entire sky turned red. Orochimaru and Kabuto watched. Naruto pulled the blade away from Orochimaru and melted like it was nothing. Orochimaru was shocked by that. That was a legendary Kusanagi blade that has been here for centuries now. And the boy turned it into nothingness. Mito got to her feet as she screamed for her brother to stop because he was destroying the entire place. As Naruto here changed from red to white, his eyes becoming golden, the original Naruto Osusuke came out. But he was still short. Seems like you'll have to grow up once again. But that didn't matter to him, as he let out a dark, evil laughter. After all this time, he was finally free. Finally free! So yeah guys, that was basically the last one left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. We begin this episode seconds after Osusuke Naruto and Naruto Uzumaki merge, when his explosion of power entered the atmosphere. turning the sky literally blood red from the both of them combining into one, reawakening the god. In a dark, secluded area, the place was completely dark, no light at all. There were many high stone beams. Something was wrapped around them, a body, strange body. An eye slowly opened. The eye was blood red. As it looked around, feeling the power that even penetrated through here. Father? Meanwhile, at Kumo, the Raikage was looking up at the sky. A moment ago the place was bright clear, and now everything turned blood red. As he wondered what is going on. The man didn't know why, as his stump of an arm started to twitch. And he had a feeling that that boy was responsible for this, but that couldn't be possible. Despite how powerful he may be, a boy could not change nature like this. The winds were howling. The place was raining in some different areas. It was like the entire world was off balance. It was like some great deity has came and turned everything upside down. At Kiri, as a battle has just happened. But once again, the rebellion forces had to flee. Standing on the battlefield with his staff was Yagura, as he glanced up in the sky, as he wondered what was going on. A moment ago the place was clear, but now the mist was gone completely. It was like the mist was absorbed from the air. It was like nature itself was fighting something, as the sky was blood red. Massive tornadoes, tsunami over to the eastern seaboard was destroying boats. Just what the hell was going on? At the hidden stone, Oniki was currently looking up in the sky as he was floating. His entire village had shook a minute ago. They built their village in a rock premise. Many rocks went loose. Many things started to fall. But now everything was stable. But you wonder, what could have caused this? At the hidden rain, the rain had stopped. That was impossible. The leader of the Akatsuki Pain had the power to manipulate the rain. He was the one that made it rain today, like he usually did. And he was the one that made it stop when he wanted. He was a god after all. But why did the rain stop? It was like the chakra he forced into the ability had been absorbed. It was like nature itself had came alive and was now fighting against him for some reason. As he raised his hands in the air, and he couldn't feel that usual pull that he always felt. Something was wrong. Glancing up in the sky, he wondered what was causing this. He is the only god in this time now. There is no one that is able to rival the power of his Rinnegan. No one that can test him. So he really wants to know what the hell is going on. As Conan walked out on the balcony beside him. Is everything okay? She said. I don't know, he said. Conan was surprised that he sounded uncertain for the first time, as he's never sounded this way in a very long time. As she could see, despite him being in that body and controlling it, something was wrong. She could see it, as a small frown was on his face. Meanwhile, Zetsu was overjoyed. He was bubbling with excitement. After all this time, searching, lurking and watching, it was him. It was really him. Zetsu couldn't believe it. Retaining some of his mother aspects, after all, she was the one that made him. So he knew about her other son, that despised humanity as much as she did. As that brought a smirk to his dark face. He just have to wait till these others are gone. Knowing him, he will eradicate them soon enough. Zetsu smiled to himself. Meanwhile, down in the clearing, just a fluctuation of his power, it had created a massive clearing, blowing away all trees, all rocks, all debris from around the area. Standing there was none other than Naruto Uzumaki himself, looking at his hands. He had a big smile on his face. After all these centuries, he was finally free. No more seal, nothing to hold him back. He was finally free. And after all these years, he will let the world know. But first thing first, Hagoromo! Hamura! Show yourself! He screamed in the ear. Your pathetic lives were taken. Because despite everything, you cannot run from the god of death himself. But I know that you're still here, watching and lurking in the darkness, like the cowards you are. Now, show yourself! Hearing no answer, Naruto started to smirk. Meanwhile, Mito stepped forward along with Sasuke, only for Jiraiya to stop them. What are you doing? Let me go, private sage, said Mito. Something is wrong, and I need to go talk to him. Mito, you need to calm down. Whoever that is, I don't think he's your brother. What are you talking about? Of course it's my brother. No, said Jiraiya. The man looked dead serious as Mito looked at him confused. Shizune was worried as Tsunade stood there. Something was definitely off. Tsunade remembered the redhead that she fought. The redhead that she joked around for the entire week with. This was definitely not him. This was like someone completely different. As she glanced towards Jiraiya, Mito used a chance to break away. As she rushed forward, "Brother!" she screamed, only for Naruto to glance towards her. She stopped immediately. His eyes were so cold. Golden eyes looking dead into her soul. As she looked at him confused. "Brother, it's me," she said, stepping forward. What? She was cut off as he raised his hand. As he pointed towards her, Jiraiya leaped as he grabbed Mito as an explosion ripped from where Naruto was and traveled straight towards where she would have been, blowing everything away, forcing Tsunade and Shizune to jump away, Sasuke as well. As he landed, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Sasuke shouted. "Do you need someone to knock some sense in that head of yours?" As Naruto's gold eyes turned towards him, before they turned back. "Hagoromo! Hamura! Show yourself!" he screamed once again. "I'm not gonna act another time." After 5 seconds, nothing happened. Mito stood there. She was confused. Jiraiya was still holding on to her. He just tried to attack her. They have fought many times before. Practice, training. But he did it in a way like he wanted to hurt her. She was confused. As she reached up and slowly touched the necklace that he gave her, greatest little sister ever. As she gripped onto it tight, she didn't know what was going on. And she was afraid. "Alright," said Naruto. "If you don't want to show yourself, I guess I'll end it. I'll simply nuke this entire world. You know that won't kill me, but all of your precious humans will be slaughtered in an instant." Jiraiya and Tsunade's eyes went wide as Naruto started to float off the ground and raised his hand. A small, condensed black ball started to form before it started to extend, larger and larger and larger. I told you I wouldn't be asking once again. But before he could release the ball though, there was 2 bright lights that suddenly appeared on the ground. As he smirked, wanted to do something as she did not see the lights, Mito shot her chains forward from her back so Jiraiya could not stop her, as he went straight towards Naruto. But he didn't even touch him. The chains turned and simply fell to the ground like they were nothing. She didn't feel anything after they got so near to him. What happened? She wondered. The massive death ball that Naruto was creating suddenly started to get absorbed back into his palm. As he slowly lowered himself back down to the ground. But something didn't drop on his hand. As he looked down to see that it was blood. Reaching towards his eye, he wiped away blood. He wiped it away, not concerned about that at the moment, as he lowered himself. His feet touched the ground as he watched it too. Light in front of him started to twist and turn into 2 human figures. A second later, Hamura and Hagoromo were standing there, in a ghostly form, as their entire body seemed to be made up of spectral light. A smirk was on Naruto's face the entire time, as Shizune, Tsunade in the group, looked over, confused to who those were. Jiraiya then saw their eyes, one of them, a Hyuga, and the other one. As you remember Nagato, they're the same eyes. Exact same. Jiraiya had read about some myths and some theories about the description of the Sage of Six Paths that had been passed down from millennia ago. And this one over there looked exactly like that man. Snady had read about it as well, back when she was younger. She glanced towards Jiraiya. Jiraiya, that can't be, is it? No, it can't be, said Jiraiya. Wait, what is going on, said Sasuke? I've read about the Sage of Six Path back in my youth. Myths, theories about him, to his looks, and even personality that someone recorded. Think about it as a life biography about him. And the description is dead on. But how is this possible? What? The Sage of Six Path? Sasuke heard about that before. He's said to be the god of Shinobi world. But if he is, what does Naruto have to do with that? Sasuke minded run on something that Naruto once told him. Well, he was joking about it. Hey, what if I'm some kind of god that got reincarnated? That is why I have all this power and abilities. And what if one day that other personality of mine is gonna come back? Huh, you'll be screwed. Yeah. God my ass, said Sasuke. Sasuke blinked as he remembered the conversation that he had with Naruto. Could it be? As Mito glanced over to her brother, she moved forward as she wanted to know what the hell was going on. Jiraiya was completely dazed, so he didn't stop her. But he stepped forward as well, just to make sure that she was okay. Stop! This doesn't involve you, said Naruto, as he didn't even look at them. But brother, be quiet! Mito felt tears came to the corner of her eyes. He never spoke to her like that before. Sasuke clenched his fists, only for Jiraiya to stop him from doing anything stupid. Calm down. Don't do anything stupid. So, after all this time, quite ironic, isn't it? After all you've done to seal me away, the amount of power, the amount of time, everything you put into that seal, only for it to be reversed now, with you two being dead, and me on this earth alive. You must be scared. Why should we be? Said Homura. Why should you be? Well, you both love humanity. You always tried your best to protect it. Leaving me here alone, alive, that was quite stupid, isn't it? I mean, I know you couldn't kill me, but you at least should have found a better way. Rather than seal me, I mean, I made you two a promise, didn't I? That when I get free I will slaughter everything you come to love. That I will burn this world. That I would cause so much chaos and havoc to just make the two of you suffer. You won't do something like that, said Hagoromo. Oh? And why wouldn't I? You have lived as a human. You have done so many good in the name of Naruto Uzumaki. You helped. You protected. Not to mention that one over there, Hagoromo said, as he pointed towards Mito. All of them, in fact. You act like you don't care. But Naruto Uzumaki is not dead. You just absorbed him. The both of you are one now. Even though you remember who you are, you still remember who you are as Naruto Uzumaki. So, after everything, you can't tell me that you don't care about humans. After all that has happened, you can't stand there and tell me you don't care. To kill everyone, to cause so much chaos and destruction. Oh. So you think my threat was a bluff, said Naruto? You think just because I know who I am, I'm gonna be forgiving you? No. I know that you won't forgive me for what I did. But I had to do it. He had to, brother. Oh, he had to. And just because I've lived as a human, as you say, I won't slaughter everyone. Huh. You know, you lied to me a lot of time before. But this is your most stupidest lie. As Naruto clenched his fist, when he opened back his palm, there was a black ball, like a truth-seeking orb as he twists and tossed it. It went straight towards Jiraiya and the group before going over their head, as it sailed off into the distance. All of them turned as they watched. Hagoromo's eyes went wide. Suddenly, boom! The entire village with hundreds, probably thousands of people gambling, exploded. An explosion that tore through the entire place. Buildings. People were blown to pieces. Innocents slaughtered within seconds. A wicked, evil smile was on Naruto's face as he turned back towards Hagoromo and Hamura. Mito started to cry as she couldn't believe it. She knew where that attack went off. Jiraiya clenched his fists, but he wasn't stupid to do anything at this time. He was certain now that man was a sage of sixth path. But how? But how is that even possible? As none of them were focused on Naruto, they were looking at the explosion. They didn't notice that he wiped his eye. Once again, blood. As he would quickly wipe it away, as he turned back towards the two silhouette. So tell me, you must feel terrible about sealing me away now. As Hagoromo clenched his fists. Naruto, you can't do this. That is the exact reason why he sealed you away in the first place. Hamura, did he ever tell you what was inside that seal? What? I asked you a question. Did he ever tell you what was inside that seal? See? You don't know. But yet you run your mouth and you talk like you understand anything. To think that you once called me brother. To think that I once called you brother as well. Both of you. Do you have any idea what I went through? This world know you as a sage of sixth path. Jiraiya and Tsunade was confirmed now. These people think that you were the strongest and greatest. But did they know that you could even stand up to me? Both of you at your full power. I was holding back for your sake back then. If one thing your seal has done, it has trapped my power that just kept on multiplying over and over again. And that has made me so much more powerful. And you really think that I would spare anything because you said so? Do you know how much crap I went through? That seal had this chakra inside of it that wanted to rip me to shreds, dissecting my mind, removing my personality, removing my soul. I felt like I was fighting for centuries, over and over. Not even I could fight that long. I eventually broke down. I cried. Look at me, a grown man crying, even though you wouldn't know because of this stupid little body. But I cried, I begged, I even promised never to harm any human once again, as long as you release me from that seal. I cried out your names, begging for help. I prayed, I even begged for mother to come and save me. But I got nothing. Trap, I was torn to pieces. Did you know that, Hamura? I was literally ripped, inch by inch, till there was nothing but chakra. When I finally was able to get back some sense of memory, it was when I felt the power of the Jobe. You stole my creation, brother, said Naruto. Be quiet, said Naruto. I am the one that's here. You both are dead. So let me talk. After what you see me do to Ragnarok, you went and split the Jobe power, trading those beasts. You should know, I destroyed the half of the Nine Tails that was sealed inside me. As Jiraiya's eyes widened, he remembered Sir Toby telling him that Minato sealed half inside Naruto, but he never found any seal on Naruto's stomach. He never found any beast inside. So that is why he was confused, but now it made sense. I ripped it to shreds and took its memories. And that is when I understand. You both are lucky that I wasn't the one that was born. Because of this seal, had it been holding me back, everything would have been gone. My mind was unstable. It took some time. But this body of Naruto Uzumaki, my mind was able to mend and comprehend and understand that I was no longer trapped in that box once again. But it still took years. After all, it took years for me to free and completely merge once again. So now tell me, brother, what do you have to say to me? I did what was best for humanity. Naruto laughed, a pain laugh. Even now, you still can't admit that you are wrong. What about you, Hamura? What do you have to say for yourself? Was it worth it? Watching your brother, knowing that I've suffered so much, Tell me, was it worth it? To put me through all that crap? I'm sorry, Hamura said. But we had to. There would have never been peace in the world. Peace? You call these wretched humans and what they have done peace? Seems you two are more stupider than I thought. Well, it doesn't matter. I made you a promise, and I intend to fulfill that. As Naruto started to walk away, Brother, wait! Hagoromo said. Oh? So his brother now. So tell me, Hagoromo, what do you want? Are you gonna stop me? You couldn't beat me at your fullest. You're a ghost now. How exactly are you gonna beat me? You will condemn this world to nothing but hatred and pain just because of what we did to you. No, I'm gonna condemn it because I am not like these people. I am a god. Humans. Humans are just pitiful creatures that snivel off of the chocolate that you gave them to try and survive. They use it for war and chaos, and you call me the bad one. You should know that I'll be ending that war and chaos, but in my own way. That's by exterminating humankind, right? Hagoromo said. As Naruto smiled, it's the best way. Would you kill her? Said Hagoromo. Hamaru looked at his brother. What the hell was he saying? Would you kill them? Those people over there. You've grown to know them and understand. Not to mention that girl right there is your sister. I have no sister, said Naruto. Mito's eyes went wide. She wasn't able to talk through all of this, and now hearing him say that, her entire body started to tremble as a tear started to leak out. As Naruto glanced towards her, but he didn't say a single word. The both of you grew up together. You did everything you can to protect her, and you're telling me you feel nothing for her. Is that how you're gonna let things go? We have been watching you. What about the girl? What about the girl at the village? Are you gonna kill her as well? Are you gonna end and make humanity suffer just because of what we did to you? You think that's I'm gonna change my mind just because you're spouting off all of your bullshit? It doesn't matter what you say, Hagoromo. Hamura, the both of you are dead to me. Well, in fact, you're dead. So it's not like you can do anything to stop me. And I will rule this earth and turn it the way I want. And I will do what I want for eternity. Brother, that's where you're wrong. Even though much more powerful than us, you still will fall at the hands of a Shinigami. You cannot escape death. Oh, can't I? Hagoromo narrowed his eyes. What are you planning? Why the hell should I tell a dead man anything, said Naruto, as he started to walk off. Brother, please, Hamura said. Hagoromo is stubborn. He's too prideful and he would never admit when he's wrong. Hagoromo glared at his brother. He didn't say anything. We apologize. We're sorry for what we did. Please, don't take it out on humanity. You think it's because of you I'm gonna hurt humanity, said Naruto. To be truthful, I don't give a shit about either of you. You two have been dead to me the moment you tricked me and sealed me away. For that you get burned in the deepest crevice of hell. I and Mother are the same. She understands that humans should worship us because we're gods. But you two were just stupid enough to not understand that. So, you two can both go and screw yourself for all I care. If you show your face in front of me again, I'll make you wish you wouldn't have, said Naruto as he started to walk off. Mito had enough as she got to her feet. Jiraiya and the others were too blown and taken aback by everything that just transpired. They were speechless, shocked. She rushed over as she extended her arms right in front of him. You're not going anywhere, she said. Hagoromo and Hamura looked over. This was their only hope. If there was one person that could stop him, it could be her. This was what Hagoromo has been praying for ever since he found out that Naruto was alive. Ever since he found out that he got freed. Tears were streaming down her face. I don't know what happened to you, or what is really going on. But we made each other a promise that we will never leave each other. We will always be there to protect one another no matter what. I am not allowing you to leave. No matter what, she said, tears pooling from her eyes. Sasuke seen her crying in pain. He couldn't help it as he moved forward as he stood there as well. She's right, dope. I don't know what the hell is going on through your head, but you need to snap out of it before you take this too far. Given who you are, You can't allow it to just go off like that. Have you two been listening to what is going on? Said Naruto, confusing them. Do you two really not understand what is going on here? Yes, I do remember both of you. I remember everything. In fact, I am Naruto Uzumaki and Naruto Osusuke. I have lived both lives. But my previous life is what I truly am. I'm not a human. You, and everyone else back at that village, has twisted Naruto Uzumaki's mind. You're the reason why he doesn't despise or hate humans like that. Because you are human as well, Mito. But, you're not my sister. I have no sister. I'm Naruto Osusuke, a god. These small, stupid, idiotic relationships, these feelings are for lesser beings, and they will not plague me no matter what. So I suggest the both of you move before you get hurt. You would really do that? Hurt me? After everything we went through, said Mito. After you swore that you would protect me no matter what, even though I told you I'm strong enough to protect myself, you were still there, you were always there. So can you really stand there and tell me that you will hurt me to get what you want? Can you, brother? She shouted. Damn it, Naruto, snap out of it, Sasuke said, thinking that this was the same like with his cursed mark. In an instant, Naruto was in front of them. The both of them were picked off the ground by their throats as he raised them in mid-air. Mito started to struggle as he started tightening his grip. Chains started to come out of her back, but she stopped them. No, you won't kill me, she said. As Sasuke was finding it difficult to breathe, he swung his kick as it slammed right in Naruto's face, but Naruto didn't even budge. Earthstad, Swamp of the Underworld, Jiraiya says he slammed his hand down as Swamp came on the Naruto. But to Jiraiya's shock, Naruto stood on top of it. How was that even possible? Tsunade leaped forward as he was choking the two kids. Her fist caught back. I'm sorry, brat, she said. She slammed her fist into his back with tremendous force. There was a booming sound as Hagoromo and Hamura just watched, unable to do anything in the state that you're in. Tsunade was shocked. She pulled back her hand that was bruised. She felt like she hit nothing but metal. What the hell? As Naruto tossed Sasuke and Mito to the side, both of them gasping for air. I'm not your brother, and I'm not your friend. Forget about me. Because if you don't, you'll eventually get hurt or killed. That is the last warning I'm gonna give you. And with that, he took off with a tremendous speed, blurring out of sight. Mito started to cry. She couldn't help but cry. As she watched her brother flare away from her, leaving her life, she couldn't understand. Suddenly, Hagoromo and Hamura noticed something. The only reason why they were here, it is because Naruto power. Naruto has all of the components which cause him to be in the living world. That is, Senju, Uchiha, all of that power that belonged to Hagoromo and Hamura. Yes, he's a Hyuga as well. So that is the only reason why they're here. But now that he's gone, they thought they would fade away. This is impossible, said Hagoromo as he walked over. As he then saw it. Young Sasuke, he said. Sasuke rubbed his throat as he looked up at the ghostly figure in front of him. You're still here? It seems that way. And it's because of you. Brother, not only him, said Hamura as he looked over. She has it as well. Mito looked up as she was looking in the eyes of Hamura. What are you talking about? She said, tears still flowing. It seems like being in the womb with you as well, his power had circulated that much for you to have a fraction of it. As Hamura looked at Mito. They're the reason why we're still here, brother. This is good. We can communicate with them. Are you real, the Sage of Six Paths? Asked Navi. Yes, I am, said Hagoromo. So, I heard Naruto call you brother. Why would he say something like that? Because he is my brother. But how? Said Jiraiya, as he lowered his tone, realized who he was talking to. This man was a literal god. He didn't know the, respect or how to speak to the man. It's quite alright, said Hagoromo. Stop crying, my child, he says. He looked towards Mito. There is a way to save him. What? How? She said she got to her feet. My brother would have slaughtered any human that come in his path. But instead he didn't kill you. Sasuke snorted. So just because he didn't kill us, there's a way to save him. Yes. Because, despite him not acting like it, he still feels it. But his other half, Osusuke Naruto, is too proud, too prideful. He despises humans too much, so he's overriding his feelings for everything else. But there's a way. And I'm gonna need your help to do it, said Hagoromo, as he looked towards Mito. Yeah, anything. As long as I get my brother back. Hagoromo smiled. Perhaps this girl could help them. Because if these people could not help them, he was afraid that this world is going to end very soon. It would even end because Naruto had made a promise that he would make sure he made them watch as he turned mankind to nothing but mindless, savage beings that would destroy everything around. With the power that he possessed, Hagoromo believed he could. And this time, he is not alive to stop him. But perhaps, he glanced towards Sasuke as he saw Naruto chakra flowing through Sasuke, as the chakra had been mending with Sasuke already, developing chakra system. And that is the thing with Naruto's chakra. Even after being separated, it just continued to grow. As he glanced towards Mito, it was there, but the girl has never used it before. Being in the same womb with her, its power was still reforming together. Some of it must have spilled into her system as well. Perhaps this is the only way that they can do to stop him. To use these two, to use these people that were here. He knew that they seemed wrong, but it was the only way because in a fight, none of them, not even this entire world, can challenge him. Yes, doesn't matter who, they would definitely lose. He had to pray to whatever other deity out there that he could stop Naruto from doing anything stupid. Because if he could not, and Naruto ended up bringing their mother back, that would make it even worse. It was bad to think that humanity was resting on these two kids' shoulders. Hagoromo felt really bad. Meanwhile, as Naruto was making his way, walking, he didn't know what was wrong with him, but something was definitely wrong. Suddenly, a truth-seeking orb formed behind him as it shot towards the ground, exploding. As Naruto continued to walk, a few seconds later, Black Zetsu emerged. You really kill first before talking, don't you? Naruto's eyes scanned over Black Zetsu. What are you, creature? He said. And why do you have Kaguya's power within you? So you remember Mother, don't you? Mother? You speak like she's your mother as well, said Naruto. Well, in fact, she is. So you would say that we're brothers? Zetsu was grabbed roughly by the throat as he was literally pulled from the earth. What the hell? He thought to himself. Don't you dare insinuate me to be your brother, whatever you are, said Naruto as he glanced over Zetsu. I'm here to help. Why would I need help from a vermin like you? Just let me talk, Zetsu said, struggling to even let out the proper words. As Naruto's hand was turned an eternal blue to incinerate Zetsu, Naruto tossed him as he slammed into the earth. 10 seconds. If I don't like what you say, you're dead. Zetsu looked at him. He didn't even see when he moved. That speed was just beyond. I know who you are, Naruto Osusuke. I apologize. I didn't mean any disrespect, but your mother was the one that trained me, so that is why I see her as mother as well. So what do you want? I'm here to help you. I heard what you said back then. I knew that you were watching me, but I knew that you weren't human, so I ignored you, said Naruto. So tell me, what do you want? Well, you've been missing from this earth for so long, and I've been around for, well, since Mother time. So you survived, but how? Mother created me at the last moment and I fled, and I hid. I have done so much to bring her back. Bring her back, said Naruto. Yes, isn't that what you want as well? Sure, said Naruto. What are you trying to do to bring Mother back? Well, first of all, I created an organization which I've been running from the shadows. I've been manipulating for them to collect all of the 9 bijous to reform the power of the Jubi so that we can bring Mother back. But that would be useless, right? Can't you just... Zetsu looked up, finally faced Naruto's eyes. Are you okay? Naruto reached up as he wiped his eyes again, and this time his nose, blood. I'm fine, you say as you wipe away the blood. Are you certain? Do not question me again, creature. Now tell me, what have you done to bring back Mother? Sorry, I've been gathering the 9 bijous to reform the 10 tails so we can use the power to bring back Mother, to break her from that seal. But I was wondering, now that you're here, can't you just break it yourself? No. Wait, why not? I can't, Naruto said, as he looked at his hands. Fuinjutsu was never my thing. It took me centuries, not even by my own doing, to break that seal Hagoromo placed on me. And the seal that is on Mother is just as strong, so I can't break it. Oh, I thought that... You thought wrong, creature. So I guess you just have to continue your work. Well, can't you just bring all the tail beasts here? At the moment I can't. Something is wrong with me, and I need to find out what is going on. But first, there are some vermin I promised to take care of while I was still sealed away, and things I have to do first. Once I'm done with that, I'll help you to bring back Mother. For now, leave. Zetsu wastes no time as he left. Zetsu traveled underground as he emerged a distance away, as he placed the armor on his throat. Despite most things unable to kill him because he could literally turn his body into liquid, at that moment he couldn't even move. He couldn't even liquefy his body at all, as he felt death creeping up on him. For a long time, Zetsu never feared anything, but now, he feared the mentality of Naruto Osusuke. But he was surprised. He thought that Naruto could break the seal himself. Meanwhile, Naruto collapsed to his knees as he started to cough up blood. Something was wrong. Something was definitely wrong with him as he got back to his feet. But he was a god. A little sickness won't hold him down. Besides, he has a lot to do first. He will rest afterwards. And also, he has a plan in mind. Why would he bring back the woman that wanted to enslave humanity and turn them into white Zetsus? Well, it doesn't matter. He didn't have to tell that black creature anything. The only thing Naruto wanted was the 9 bijous. He already has 2 of them. Well, 3. Counting the 2 tails back at the village. That girl. Damn it, he shook his head. He never knew that forming back together, that he would retain all the memories of Naruto Uzumaki. He still know who he is. He know that he's Naruto Uzumaki. But he's Naruto Osusuke, not Uzumaki. But he still has feelings. And he hated every single one of them. Feelings like these are for humans. They did not deserve to be with a god like him. As he shook his head as he continued to walk. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was currently sitting down in his chambers, as he didn't even know what he just witnessed before. But he saw that clearly. That boy took his Kusanagi blade and disintegrated like it was nothing. The boy literally changed the atmosphere of the world. Orochimaru knew that this boy will cause a major shift in this world. Just when was the time? For one so young to be born in power so extraordinary, Orochimaru wished that he was his subject for him to test him, to find out what made him tick, and to even take that. Orochimaru licked his lips, that body of his. He wouldn't have to fear the Akatsuki. He wouldn't have to fear anyone anymore. But that kind of power is just out of his grasp. Why did the boy have to be so strong? Perhaps he should go after his sister, as she survived. That boy loved his sister. Perhaps he should just take her. Yes, use her. And get what he wanted. That would be the best course of action. Kabuto came to the room. My lord, the Stone Force come back from their mission. Were they successful? Yes. As Kabuto handed Orochimaru a case, Orochimaru opened up as he looked inside. As he smiled, something that he wanted, a vial, with some strange green liquid inside. He placed it down. This will surely help. What do we do about Sasuke, my lord? Asked Kabuto. At the moment he's out of my grasp. But one like him should always be tainted with the power of knowing that he needs to get stronger to beat his brother. So that is especially what I will allow the Sound 4 to re-heal for me. I want them to get ready soon enough to go back to Konoha to convince the Uchiha, and if not, forcefully take him, but in quiet. We can't allow that boy to find out. Yes, my lord, said Kabuto, as he's never seen his lord such afraid of one simple boy before. Kabuto knew that Naruto was powerful, but what exactly was he? Kabuto wondered. Suddenly, alarm started to blare as Orochimaru glanced over. What is it? An enemy. Someone found us? Send the Sound 4 to dispatch him immediately. We can't afford people to find out the location of this place. They were deep in the heart of Hidden Sound. This was his main base, and he can't allow people to find out where he was at the moment, given that he's so severely weak. At once, Kabuto said, as he made his way. What the hell? Said a redhead named Teiwaya, as she glanced over towards Kabuto entering the room. There's someone here. Our lord wants you to handle them. Who is it? Asked a 6-armed fellow named Kidamaru. I don't know. I will check the civilians. But get ready and take care of the threat. Leave no one standing. The location of this place must remain a secret. Don't worry. We can handle this, said Seikon. Yeah, whoever it is, we'll defeat them for our lord, said Jirobo. The group got up and headed off. Kabuto heard another set of footsteps. As he glanced, someone else came in the room. Do my lord need my assistance? No, Kimimaro. You can go ahead and rest. You don't have to hackle yourself for something like this. It's probably someone just getting too close by accident. They will be handled immediately. Meanwhile, as Naruto was making his way to the heart of where he sensed that vile man chakra, he had absorbed the 2 other curse mark. He made him a promise as he made it that when he get out of here, he would annihilate him. Vermin like him, humans like him that crave power, and the way that they did, he really hated how they did it. Not to mention didn't even belong to them. As Naruto was thinking about what the creature told him, that black creature, he would never bring back mother. After all, she would get in his way. She wanted to turn the people into white Zetsu. He looked at his arm as he knew that he could break the seal. Yes, that would be rather easy being on the outside. Being trapped inside, it was difficult and even impossible, but being on the outside, of course he could break it. But that creature didn't have to know anything. Once again, blood leaked from his nose as he wiped away. He needed to find a medic. He supposed this snake freak has someone to specialize in this medicine, because at the moment he couldn't check himself over. His body felt weak, but that will not put him down. Someone like him will never bow to an illness or something that pathetic. This would not kill him. Making his way. Meanwhile, Kabuto entered the security room. Kabuto paused. No! He rushed out of the room as quickly as possible. As what he saw on the camera, it was Naruto making his way towards the heart of the village. Kabuto rushed towards the master's side as he realized the Sound 4 was already gone. Damn it, he cursed as he quickly made his way. Kabuto burst in the room. Kabuto, what is it? Has the intruder been dealt with already? My lord, it's him. As Orochimaru turned his head to glance at Kabuto. Him? Wait, you can't mean. As Orochimaru started to sweat, thinking about the possibility that it must be that boy. Meanwhile, at Konoha, the sage and Homura had told them that they would be in contact. Nadia came back to the village as she was sorting out things. She would have to hold a meeting soon enough to inform them about the new threat that they might face. They would have to keep this quiet, and thought about the possibilities because what Hagoromo told her, things that she still couldn't believe, the power that Naruto actually possessed. It made her sweat. But now more than ever, the village needs a Hokage. And perhaps they were the only one that could stop Naruto, especially Mito. And with someone like the Sage of Six Paths helping her, and Sasuke as well, they would surely get strong enough. But the Sage told her something that worried her, that strength would never defeat Naruto. To believe that no one, the man believed no one of this kind and age can ever touch Naruto? Was he really that powerful? At the moment, Mito was currently sitting down, her emotions not shown at all, as she was telling Haku and Yujito what happened. Yujito was surprised, even though she didn't show it that much. The one that, well, fight for her to stay here was now gone. What did that mean for her, she wondered, as she glanced towards Haku. Despite not really forcing anything, she saw Haku as someone that was calm and quite intelligent for her age. And not having anything to do, she spoke to the girl, and they kinda became friends in the past month. It was strange, but they became friends. Despite knowing that she could not stay here forever, she knew that something would happen that would force her to return back to Komo. After all, she was a Jinjuriki, and her power was needed. Mito hasn't even told Tsunade about Yujito yet. Yes, that was something that she forgot to tell her about. Haku got up as she walked over to Mito as she hugged her. It's alright, we'll get him back. Despite whatever happens, he will still be your older brother. We will get him back. Don't worry. The only thing Mito could do was hug Haku back, as she knew that Haku must be feeling terrible right now. The door didn't open up, as Sasuke walked inside the room. They glanced towards him, as Mito put on a confident smile. It doesn't matter what we face. We'll still go through it and get him back. Are you with me, Sasuke? She said. Sasuke looked at her, before a small smirk came on his face. Yeah, he said. We'll get him back. As Haku smiled. But on the inside, she felt so terrible. Despite never saying it, or, well, she showed it. But she never said it. She loved Naruto. Yes, the both of them had something special from her regard. She never knew if he felt the same way entirely, but she loved him. And she would do whatever in her power to get him back. It doesn't matter where he is, or who he's trying to be now, or what took over him. They will bring him back home, and they will be a family once again, she thought to herself. As Sasuke was there standing, he would do whatever it takes to get me to her brother back, no matter what. Yujito was there, she was just watching them, as she wondered how does she fit in all of this, as she wondered where he might be now. Meanwhile, Naruto was surrounded by the Stone Four, as they were all looking at him. Given his recent, well, new shade of hair and his eyes, they didn't know who he was. They believed that this was just some run-of-the-mill bandit or thug that got lost, which they will kill right now. They didn't even know how deep down in crap they were, as they were literally facing a god. But guys, to be in right here, if you want the next part of this, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that notification to stay posted. But for now, see you guys soon. Peace.